My friends, I want you to hear me with your heart today, not just your ears, because this message is not just information. It is an awakening. It is a call from deep within you that has been waiting, aching, yearning to be heard. You see, every one of us has a story we are running from, hiding from, or scared to claim. And the tragedy is not that life has been hard. The tragedy is that we allow the hard moments to convince us that we are unworthy of rising again. We allow our past to imprison us when it was meant to prepare us. I remember meeting a young man after one of my speeches. His eyes were tired, his voice shaking. He said, "Oh, Mr. Brown, I don't know how to move forward. My story is too broken." I looked him in the eyes and said, "Son, the crack in you is not your weakness. It is the place where the light gets in. Your story isn't broken, it's just unfinished, and you must own it before life can use it." That's what I want to talk to you about today. Your story, your struggle, your scars, your becoming. Because the moment you own your story, the moment you stop running from what shaped you, the moment you embrace every chapter, good, bad, painful, triumphant, that is the moment you unlock your power. And so today we begin a journey of 7 deep transformations. Not steps, not lessons, but emotional chapters in your rebirth. Each one a turning point, each one a breakthrough, each one a reminder that you were not designed to break. You were designed to rise. Let's begin. Your pain is part of your power. Pain is not something we seek, but it is always something that finds us. And when it does, it touches places inside of us that we never knew existed. It breaks us open in ways we didn't ask for, didn't expect, and didn't feel prepared to handle. But hear me, every ounce of pain you've ever felt carries within it a seed of power. And that power becomes yours the moment you choose to stop hiding from your story and start owning it. For too long, many people walk through life pretending they are not broken, pretending they are not hurting, pretending they are not carrying weight that could crush a mountain. But pretending does not heal you. Pretending buries you. Pain is not your enemy. Silence is. Denial is. Avoidance is. What heals you is honesty. What frees you is ownership. What strengthens you is the courage to face your story exactly as it is. Because the truth is this: your pain shaped you, but it did not shatter you. You are still here. And being here means the story is still being written. There are people who believe that the painful chapters of their life invalidate their worth. They look at their mistakes, their heartbreaks, their failures, their losses, and they think, this is why I'm not enough. This is why I can't rise. This is why I'll never be what I dream of becoming. But that thinking is a lie. The very moments you think disqualified, you are the moments that actually prepared you. The fire you walked through did not burn away your value. It burned away your illusion of weakness. It revealed your strength. It revealed your resilience. It revealed the depths of your endurance. You didn't survive by accident. You survived because there is something inside you that refuses to die, refuses to quit, refuses to give up. I want you to understand something. Every person you admire, every person who has done something great, every person whose story inspires millions, they all went through pain. But the difference is not that they hurt less. The difference is that they decided their pain would not silence them. They decided their pain would speak through them. They took ownership of their wounds so they could turn them into wisdom. And that is exactly what you must do. You must look at the moments that wounded you, not as curses, not as punishments, but as preparation. Not as endings, but as necessary beginnings. There is power in saying, yes, I was broken, but I am rebuilding. There is power in saying, yes, I was hurt, but I am healing. There is power in saying, yes, I fell, but I am rising. There is power in telling the truth about where you have been, because the truth is the only thing strong enough to set you free. Your pain becomes power when you stop running from it, because when you run from your story owns you. But when you face it, when you embrace it, when you say, this is what happened, this is what I learned, and this is who I am becoming because of it, you take back every piece of yourself that life tried to steal. Some of you have been blaming yourselves for things that were not your fault. Carrying guilt that does not belong to you. Holding shame that you should have released years ago. But today, I want you to stop treating your pain like a prison. It is not a cage. It is a key that unlocks compassion, strength, understanding, courage, awareness, and purpose. The cracks in your heart let wisdom in. The struggles you survive sharpen your intuition. The disappointments you endure deepen your empathy. Nothing was wasted, nothing was meaningless. Every tear watered something inside you. Every hurt awakened something powerful within you. And hear me, the moment you share your pain, it stops being a weakness. It becomes a bridge that connects you to others who need your honesty, your strength, your vulnerability, your truth. Someone out there is waiting for a person just like you to stand up and say, I went through it and I made it, so they can believe they can make it too. You don't have to hide anymore. You don't have to shrink anymore. You don't have to pretend you're invincible. Own your pain. Because when you own it, you transform it. When you transform it, you rise from it. And when you rise from it, nothing, absolutely nothing, can stop the person you are becoming. Your struggle is your training ground. Life has a way of testing us long before it ever blesses us. It seems that every dream you dare to hold in your heart comes packaged with challenges, setbacks, detours, heartbreaks, and moments where you question everything, including yourself. But what many people don't understand is this struggle is not punishment. Struggle is preparation. Struggle is the silent training ground where your greatness is being molded long before the world ever sees it. And if you can learn to own your struggle instead of resisting it, you will discover strength you didn't know you had, clarity you didn't know you needed, and growth you didn't know was possible. You see, everything powerful in life is shaped under pressure. Diamonds only exist because they endured the weight of the earth pressing down on them. Steel becomes strong because it survives the fire. And human beings, people like you, become extraordinary because they walk through seasons of adversity that force them to dig deeper than they ever imagined. We like to pray for success, for elevation, for breakthroughs, but rarely do we acknowledge that the answers to those prayers often appear first as challenges that stretch us. Every mountain you climb expands your lungs. Every storm you endure strengthens your roots. Every obstacle you face fortifies your spirit. Your struggle is your gym. Your struggle is where your character is carved. Your struggle is where your discipline is shaped. Your struggle is where your faith is tested and strengthened. And I want you to understand nothing you are going through is wasted. Not one moment of it. You may not see it now, but the version of you that will walk into your future needs exactly this level of strength, this level of self-awareness, this level of mental resilience, this level of emotional toughness. If life handed you your blessing before you were built to carry it, the blessing would crush you, the dream would overwhelm you, the opportunity would intimidate you. So life makes sure you are strengthened first. Sometimes the struggle feels personal. It feels targeted. It feels like life is picking on you, like you're the only one fighting 10 battles at once. But the truth is, the strongest soldiers always get the hardest training, not because life wants to break you, but because life wants to build you. You're being stretched not to destroy you, but to expand your capacity. You are being challenged not because you are weak, but because you are capable of more. You are being pushed not to make you fall, but to make you rise higher than you ever have before. I want you to think about the moments in your life when you felt the weakest, when everything seemed to collapse at once, when people you loved walked away, when plans fell apart, when the weight on your shoulders felt unbearable. But somehow you made it through. You didn't quit. You didn't die. You didn't surrender. And if you look closely, you'll realize you came out stronger than the person you were before the struggle began. The truth is, struggle teaches you things success never will. Success is comfortable, but struggle is educational. Success can make you confident, but struggle makes you unshakable. Success shows you what you can achieve, but struggle shows you what you're made of. And that's why the struggle is necessary. That's why you must own it. Because everything you want, everything you dream of requires a version of you that can endure, persist, and rise no matter what life throws in your path. But the sad reality is that many people refuse to embrace the struggle. They complain about it, they resent it, they try to avoid it, they wish it away. But the more you resist your struggle, the longer it lasts. The more you complain about it, the heavier it feels. The more you fear it, the more it controls you. But when you shift your mindset and say, this is my training ground, this is preparing me, this is shaping me, this is necessary, something powerful changes inside you. Instead of feeling victimized, you feel empowered. Instead of feeling overwhelmed, you feel strengthened. Instead of feeling stuck, you feel purposeful. Every single challenge is teaching you discipline, preparing you for opportunities, and sharpening the skills you will need to sustain success. The person you are becoming through this struggle is wiser, tougher, stronger, and more capable than the person you were before it began. The struggle is sculpting your greatness one day at a time. And when you own that, when you embrace the struggle as your training ground, nothing can break you because you understand that everything is building you. So whenever life pushes you, don't shrink. Push back. Whenever life tests you, don't panic. Trust the process. Whenever you feel the weight of the world on your shoulders, remember you are not being crushed. You are being carved. This is your training ground, and you are being shaped for a destiny far bigger than your current discomfort. Embrace it, own it, grow through it, because once you master your struggle becomes your strength. And nothing, absolutely nothing, can stop a person who knows that every battle is shaping them into a warrior. Your mindset is your master key. Your mind is the control center of your life. Everything you will ever become, everything you will ever achieve, every dream you will ever manifest begins in one place. Your mindset. Before a door opens in your life, it must first open in your mind. Before you rise, you must first believe you can rise. Before you change your life, you must change the way you think about your life. And if you do not own your mindset, life will own it for you, shaping your thoughts according to fear, doubt, limitation, and every painful story you've ever lived through. But when you take control, when you stand up and say, I am the thinker of my thoughts, not the prisoner of them, everything shifts. People often underestimate the power of their mind. They think their circumstances control them, their past defines them, or their environment limits them. But none of that is as powerful as the story you tell yourself every day. You can have talent, opportunities, passion, purpose, but if your mindset is small, none of it will matter. A negative mindset will sabotage a positive life. A fearful mindset will drain your courage. A limited mindset will shrink your possibilities. Your mindset is the master key, the access point, the blueprint, the engine. And if the engine is weak, the journey is slow. If the engine is strong, the journey becomes unstoppable. Think about it. Every invention began as a thought. Every business began as a thought. Every transformation began as a thought. Every victory began as a thought, and every defeat began as a thought too. Not because the person was incapable, but because they believed they were. Your life does not respond to your potential. It responds to your belief about your potential. You cannot grow if your mind refuses to expand. You cannot heal if your mind insists on clinging to the wound. You cannot win if your mind keeps rehearsing the reasons you should lose. Your thinking creates your emotional climate, your internal atmosphere, and the direction of your life. Some of you wake up every morning fighting battles in your mind before you even leave your bed. You fight doubt, you fight fear, you fight memories of failure, you fight the echo of other people's negative voices, you fight the beliefs that were planted in you before you were old enough to question them. And the danger is this: if you do not challenge the lies in your mind, they become the truth you live by. If you do not break the patterns of thinking that hold you back, you spend your life trapped inside a story you were never meant to stay in. But you can change it. You can rewrite the script. You can shift the narrative, because your mind is not a prison unless you allow it to be. It can be a sanctuary. It can be a powerhouse. It can be the foundation of your greatness, the garden where the seeds of your future grow. You just have to own it. You have to take responsibility for what you think, what you speak, what you believe, and what you allow to enter your mental space. Protect your mind the way you protect your home, because what enters your mind will eventually enter your life. And hear me, mindset is not magic, it is maintenance. You don't wake up with a powerful mindset just because you want one. You build it, you strengthen it, you reinforce it every single day. Successful people don't think positively because life is easy. They think powerfully because life is challenging. They don't allow fear to override their purpose. They don't allow setbacks to rewrite their identity. They don't allow doubt to dictate their destiny. They manage their mind with intention, discipline, and focus. That's what you must do. Your mindset determines your interpretation of everything that happens to you. Two people can go through the same storm and come out completely different. One emerges defeated, bitter, exhausted. The other emerges wiser, tougher, more determined. The difference, not the storm, but the mindset they carried into it. A strong mindset says, this is tough, but I am tougher. A weak mindset says, this is tough, so I must not be enough. Same situation, two interpretations, and the interpretation becomes the outcome. You must train your mind the same way you train your body. You must feed it with truth, stretch it with challenges, exercise it with discipline, and rest it with peace. You must watch your thoughts the way a guardian watches a gate. The moment a negative belief tries to sneak in, you confront it. This does not belong to me. This does not define me. This does not limit me. You replace it with something stronger. I am capable. I am worthy. I am growing. I am becoming. I am becoming. I am rising little by little. Thought by thought, belief by belief, you transform your internal world, and your external world follows. Because here is the truth. You can have all the resources in the world, all the support, all the opportunities, all the talent, but if your mindset is against you, nothing will work. But if your mindset is aligned with your destiny, if your belief is strong, if your thoughts are empowering, you can overcome any obstacle, rise from any fall, and build a life far bigger than the one you started with. Your mindset is your master key. Own it, strengthen it, protect it, shape it, and it will unlock the doors you once thought were impossible. The moment you decide you deserve more, there comes a moment in every person's life when something inside them snaps, not in a way that breaks them, but in a way that wakes them up. Step 4 is that awakening. It is the moment you stop negotiating with your limitations and stop entertaining the lies your fears have told you for years. It is the moment you whisper or maybe shout, I deserve more than this. And understand this, the moment you say those words with conviction is the moment your life begins to shift in a direction it has never gone before. This step is powerful because it isn't about motivation, inspiration, or hype. This is about truth, a truth you have ignored, underestimated, or avoided. A truth that says your potential is bigger than the environment you were raised in, bigger than the failures you survived, bigger than the opinions of people who doubted you, and bigger than the version of yourself that thought settling was okay. You were not created to shrink. You were made to grow, to evolve, to expand, and to rise. Step 4 is about taking ownership of that truth. When you decide you deserve more, it changes the way you walk, the way you talk, the way you think, the way you react, and the way you show up for yourself. You stop making excuses not because you suddenly feel strong, but because you finally understand that your excuses have never given you a single thing you wanted. You stop waiting for permission because you realize no permission is coming. You stop apologizing for wanting a bigger life because wanting more does not make you ungrateful. It makes you alive. This moment is not fireworks. It's not a dramatic transformation. Often it's quiet. It's a small, steady decision you make in the privacy of your own mind. It's choosing discipline over delay. It's choosing healing over hurting. It's choosing progress over comfort. It's choosing self-belief over self-doubt. It's choosing a future over a past that did nothing but hold you hostage. The decision doesn't change your life instantly, but it prepares your mind for everything that will change. From this moment forward, your standards begin to rise. You no longer tolerate disrespect from others. And more importantly, you stop disrespecting yourself. You stop abandoning your dreams because they seem too far. You stop shrinking your potential because someone else couldn't see it. You stop letting fear negotiate your future. You stop running from challenges and start using them as stepping stones. You stop waiting for the right time and start creating your own time. Step 4 is about standing up internally, even if the world still sees you sitting. It is about choosing to become the kind of person who does not quit after one setback, who does not fold because of one failure, who does not surrender because life got heavy. You become the kind of person who rises even when everything around you tries to pull you down. You become the kind of person who keeps pushing, not because the path is easy, but because the destination is worth it. And here's the truth. When you make the decision that you deserve more, life will test you. It will check if you're serious. It will ask you, do you really want this? Do you really believe you are worthy? Do you really have the courage to change? And your answer isn't spoken. It's shown through action, through consistency, through resilience, through your refusal to go back to the version of yourself that was comfortable with less. Step 4 is the decision that transforms your destiny, because life does not change when you wish for better. Life changes when you decide you deserve better. And once that decision is made, once you allow yourself to truly believe that more is possible for you, there is no limit to how far you can go, how high you can rise, and how powerful your future can become. This is the moment you step into your strength. This is the moment you claim your worth. This is the moment everything shifts. This is step 4, the courage to walk the path alone. Step 5 is the stage every champion encounters, yet very few are willing to embrace. It is the stage where the noise around you fades, the support you expected doesn't arrive, the applause stops, and the people you thought would walk with you begin to distance themselves. This is the point where your journey demands something from you that many people are afraid to give the courage to walk alone. Not because you want to, but because your destiny requires it. There comes a moment in every transformation where you must become your own motivation, your own encouragement, your own strength, and your own source of belief. This step is where you learn that solitude is not punishment, it is preparation. The world might not understand what you're chasing. Your friends might not see the vision. Your family might not grasp the fire inside you. People may call you unrealistic, obsessed, or strange. But what they fail to see is that you are building something greater than their understanding. You are constructing a future that only you can see. And that means walking a road only you can walk. When you reach step 5, loneliness becomes a teacher. It teaches you self-reliance. It teaches you emotional strength. It teaches you that the world may not clap for you, but your purpose will still push you forward. You start realizing that the most powerful breakthroughs happen in silence, far away from validation, approval, seeking behavior. This is where your character forms. This is where your mind sharpens. This is where your heart becomes unshakable. Walking alone is not just about physical isolation. It's about mental independence, breaking free from the need to be understood, accepted, or supported by anyone. You begin to understand that no one else is supposed to believe in your dream the way you do. No one else is supposed to feel your fire the way you feel it. No one else is supposed to fight your battles, carry your weight, or face your fears. This step demands that you honor your vision, even when others question it. It demands that you keep moving when the world expects you to quit. In this step, you discover the truth. Most people stop chasing their dreams not because they lack talent or opportunity, but because they cannot handle the silence that comes with growth. They cannot endure the space where people don't cheer, don't call, don't support, and don't understand. But you are built differently. You do not retreat in the silence. You rise in it. You use it. You transform it into fuel. Step 5 is where you learn that isolation often means elevation. When life separates you from the crowd, it is not rejection, it is selection. You are being pulled away from distractions, negativity, and noise so you can hear your own voice clearly. You are being pushed into a place where you can sharpen your purpose without interference. You begin realizing that the journey is supposed to feel uncomfortable here. Growth always feels like unfamiliar territory. But this discomfort is shaping you into someone powerful, someone disciplined, someone focused. You will face moments in step 5 where you want to go back. Not because the past was better, but because the past was familiar. But stepping backward leads to nowhere. You didn't come this far to return to the version of yourself that settled. You didn't endure the pain, the struggle, the setbacks just to go back to a life that kept you small. This step requires the courage to keep marching forward even when you are the only one walking. And then something beautiful happens. The more you walk alone, the stronger you become. You begin trusting your choices. You begin relying on your abilities. You begin understanding your worth. You begin realizing that you don't need a crowd. You need courage. You don't need validation. You need vision. You don't need approval. You need persistence. One day the world will admire what you built in the dark. One day the people who doubted you will witness the transformation they never believed was possible. But none of that matters now. What matters is that you keep walking. Step 5 is not loneliness, it is alignment. It is the universe clearing your path so you can rise without resistance. This is where champions are molded, where leaders are formed, where legends are born. And if you can endure this season of walking alone, there is nothing, absolutely nothing, you will not be able to conquer. The power of unbreakable self-belief, step 6, is the moment in your journey when everything you've walked through, every setback, every lonely night, every tear, every failure, every disappointment begins to form something inside you that no one can touch. Unbreakable self-belief. This is the step where you stop depending on the world to tell you who you are and you start declaring it for yourself. This is where your inner voice becomes louder than your fear, louder than your doubt, and louder than every negative thing you've ever been told. This stage is not just about confidence. Confidence can be shaken, confidence can fade when life hits hard, but unbreakable self-belief, oh, that is something deeper. It is born from surviving what was meant to destroy you. It comes from getting back up after you fell flat on your face. It comes from realizing that even on your worst day, you're still fighting, you're still standing, you're still reaching. That's not confidence, that's conviction. Step 6 is about remembering every moment life told you you can't and discovering that you actually could. It's about realizing that the world doubted you, but you're still here. It's about understanding that if life tried to break you and failed, then you are stronger than you ever knew. This step is where you start trusting your own strength, your own spirit, your own resilience. You stop shrinking yourself to make others comfortable. You stop waiting for permission to rise. You stop apologizing for wanting more, dreaming bigger, expecting greatness. You begin to understand that belief is not a feeling, it's decision. A decision to stand tall even when uncertainty whispers in your ear. A decision to take action even when fear tries to freeze you. A decision to keep going even when you can't see the whole path. Step 6 demands that you believe in yourself when the world gives you every reason not to. Because if you don't believe in you, no one else will. This step is also where you learn the truth about your dreams. The size of your belief will always determine the size of your future. Small belief creates small results. Weak belief creates weak effort. But strong belief, unbreakable belief, creates unstoppable momentum. When you believe you deserve more, you behave differently. You think differently. You show up differently. You stop negotiating with excuses. You stop entertaining doubt. You stop letting fear run your life. In step 6, you begin speaking to yourself with power. Instead of saying, I hope I make it, you say, I will make it. Instead of saying, I don't know if I can, you say, I'm built for this. Instead of saying maybe one day, you say today is the day. Because self-belief is a choice you make every morning you open your eyes. It's a choice to rise instead of retreat. A choice to build instead of break down. A choice to trust your potent potential more than your past. And let me tell you something. People won't always understand this stage of your growth. Some will think you're becoming arrogant, but they don't realize you're becoming aware. aware of your worth, aware of your gift, aware of your responsibility to live the life you've been given. You are not being arrogant. You are honoring the greatness within you. You are not being unrealistic. You are being committed. You are not being too much. You are becoming exactly who you were created to be. As you develop unbreakable self-belief, you begin setting boundaries. You begin protecting your energy. You begin distancing yourself from people who doubt everything and build nothing. Step 6 is where you say, I refuse to let negativity rent space in my mind. This is where you choose to surround yourself with people who see your value, encourage your growth, and push you higher. But here's the beautiful thing about step 6. Your belief becomes contagious. Your courage inspires others. Your discipline challenges others. Your progress gives others hope, and without even realizing it, you become a lighthouse. Someone who shines even after the storm. Someone whose light helps others find their way. This step is where you understand that belief is not only for you, it becomes a gift you share with the world by living boldly, loudly, fearlessly. And once you reach this stage, once you develop that unbreakable belief, nothing, no rejection, no failure, no criticism can stop you. Because when you believe without doubt, act without hesitation, and persist without fear, you become unstoppable. Step 6 is where you look in the mirror and finally recognize the warrior you've always been. The world didn't give you that strength, and the world can't take it away. This is where your belief becomes your armor, your engine, your light. And from this point forward, every step you take will be guided by the power of the person you've become. Someone who refuses to be broken, someone who refuses to be defeated, someone who believes deeply, fiercely, relentlessly in their purpose. The moment you decide to rise and never look back, step 7 is the turning point. The moment when everything you've learned, everything you've endured, everything you've fought for, finally meets a decision that changes everything. This is the moment when you stop wishing for your life to change and you decide to change it. Because nothing, absolutely nothing, becomes real in your life until you make a decision strong enough to shift your destiny. Step 7 is where you draw a line in the sand and declare, this is it. Today is the day I rise, and I am never going back to who I used to be. This step is not about motivation. Motivation can fade, inspiration can disappear, feelings can come and go. But a decision, a real, unshakable, soul deep decision, has the power to rewrite your entire future. Step 7 is where you stop entertaining the old version of yourself that kept quitting, doubting, delaying, and running from your destiny. This is where you bury your excuses once and for all. This is where you replace hesitation with action and fear with forward movement. It's where you realize that your life only changes when you do. Step 7 is where your mindset shifts from I hope things get better to I will make things better. It's where you stop seeing problems as barriers and start seeing them as invitations to grow. It's where you stop asking life to be easier and start demanding that you become stronger. This step requires courage. Not the courage to fight the world, but the courage to fight the parts of yourself that have held you back for years. It demands honesty, discipline, and the willingness to confront the truth. Your future is waiting, but it cannot begin until you stop holding on to your past. At this stage, you begin understanding that no breakthrough happens without a breaking point. Before the old version of you dies, it fights, it whispers doubts, it tells you to slow down, play safe, lower your expectations, it tempts you to settle. But step 7 is where you refuse to settle ever again. This is where you choose the path of growth even when it's hard. This is where you choose purpose over comfort, discipline over distraction, and destiny over fear. Step 7 is the moment you stop being loyal to your limitations and start becoming loyal to your potential. In this step, your relationship with effort changes. You no longer see effort as a burden, but as a privilege. You recognize that every sacrifice you make, every hour you grind, every obstacle you push through is an investment into the person you are becoming. You realize there is no transformation without dedication, no success without struggle, no elevation without commitment. This is where you show up for yourself, even on the days you don't feel like it, because step 7 is where you make peace with the truth that your dreams will not come to you. You must go to them. And as you rise in step 7, you begin to notice something powerful. The universe responds to decisive hearts. Opportunities begin to appear. Ideas become clearer. The right people begin to show up. Your energy changes. And with it, your entire world begins to shift. You start attracting experiences that match the person you're becoming, not the person you used to be. And little by little, success becomes a habit instead of a hope. This step is also where you learn that rising is not a one-time event. It is a lifestyle. You rise in your decisions. You rise in your actions. You rise in your voice, your courage, your purpose. You rise. Even when you fall, because rising is no longer something you try. It becomes who you are. Every day you choose strength. Every day you choose growth. Every day you choose the life you know you deserve. And once you build this momentum, once you commit to this level of self-transformation, you become unstoppable. Step 7 is your awakening, your declaration to the world and to yourself that you are done living a small, quiet, fearful life. You are ready to stand tall. You are ready to walk boldly. You are ready to own your story with power, pride, and purpose. This is where you stop asking, "What if I fail?" and start asking, "What if I rise higher than I ever imagined?" This is where you stop letting yesterday define you and start letting tomorrow pull you forward. And when you step fully into step 7, something extraordinary happens. You no longer chase your destiny. Your destiny starts running toward you. Because the moment you decide to rise and never look back, your entire life begins to shift into alignment with the greatness you were born for. This is the step where you embrace your power, honor your purpose, and walk into a future only you have the strength, courage, and heart to